I'm Wendy Kopp, and it was 35 years ago that I came to the idea of initially Teach for America that has, I don't know, kept me and many other people so engaged over these last many years. And what led me to it was the fact that, as I was graduating from college, I found myself searching for something I wasn't finding in terms of a way to make a real difference in the world. And I was convinced that I was not alone and that thousands of other graduates from all different majors and all different career interests were similarly searching for a way, in particular, to address the inequities in our country. And that's ultimately what inspired this idea. We were known as the me generation, and supposedly we all wanted to go work in banks on Wall Street. And I thought it wasn't the generation, but rather the fact that all the recruiters were banks and consulting firms banging down our doors asking us to commit just 2 years to work in their firms. And that's what sparked the idea. I thought it wasn't the generation, but rather the recruiters. And what if we were recruited as aggressively to commit just 2 years to teach in our country's lowest income communities? So that was the spark that led to the launch of Teach for America, and ultimately that inspired many others around the world to say, we need to do something similar in our countries, which is what led to the Teach for All network. Teach for All is a global movement of people, really the same hearts, minds, and souls all over the world who are drawn to this mission of developing collective leadership to ensure all kids fulfill their potential, in pursuit of ensuring that the young people growing up today will have the kind of education and support and opportunity that will enable them to shape a better future for themselves and for all of us. The beauty of Teach for All is that I think we're all learning from each other. It's amazing that, today Teach for America is learning from incredible innovators everywhere from India to Romania to, Peru to the next place. I think what the inspiration that has fueled me from Teach for America is seeing what happens over many years in communities where we've been working, where we've been able to see, many people who otherwise might not have chosen to teach in some of the most under-resourced communities who commit initially just 2 years, but see those 2 years turn into a lifetime commitment. So I can now see whole communities all across my country where there are literally thousands of Teach for America alumni, some in classrooms as teachers. They're serving as school leaders, as school principals in some cases 25 or 30% of the schools in those urban areas. They're working all over the school district administrations. Many of them are serving as the superintendents, the heads of those school systems. They're in elected office, they're running NGOs. And what we've seen is that with enough of them working in partnership with many others in communities, all on the same mission to ensure that all kids thrive, we see ultimately aggregate progress for kids. We've seen graduation rates jump 20 to 30 points. We've seen proficiency levels grow. We've seen college going rates and even college graduation rates grow. So I guess that experience has led me to realize that with enough leadership, we can change anything. And there's probably nothing more important to change than the systems around kids, who ultimately are going to be responsible for this world of ours and for building a peaceful and sustainable and just future. Well, my oldest is actually teaching. He's literally about to start his 4th year of teaching math in an urban high school in New Orleans, Louisiana, which was one of the first placement sites for Teach for America. Joining Teach for Romania is the path of no regrets. First of all, it gives you an incredible opportunity to make a real difference in the lives of kids growing up today. For kids who are growing up facing so many extra challenges, often, usually going to schools and school systems that really don't have the extra resources to meet their extra needs. Their only hope is for enough teachers to come into their lives and go way above and beyond traditional expectations to meet their extra needs and help them get on a different path. So in terms of the opportunity to make a direct, immediate difference, but at the same time, joining Teach for Romania makes you part of a community of so many others who share your convictions and your values. And it gives you such an incredible foundation because you learn so much in the process. The relationships you build, what you learn about your students, their families, the system at large, literally just fuels, and we've seen this all over the world, a lifetime commitment to addressing these systemic challenges. And, you know, some folks who join Teach for Romania will stay in the classroom, and some will decide they want to go run whole schools or work in the government ministry or launch social innovations or, you know, go into the corporate sector or other sectors, but from wherever they are, they'll be working with many others to address these issues that they experience during those initial 2 years. And to be part of that, that's why I say it's the path of no regrets, because it's 2 years and it will enable you to lead a fulfilled life working alongside so many others who share the same mission and values. Teach for Romania is fit for you because it's an incredible chance to build Romania's future. What I would say is that the closer we've gotten to, you know, the communities where we're all working to make a difference, the more we've understood that yes, the financial resources are important, but there's something even more important, which is the expectations, the energy, the agency and leadership of the people who are working in and around kids. And what I've seen truly is that with enough people who are on a mission to ensure that all of those kids thrive, we can accomplish anything. So I have so much hope for Romania, just seeing what Teach for Romania's first decade has done to generate so much collective leadership, people working throughout the whole ecosystem around kids who are on that mission. Like ultimately that adds up to the kind of change that we all want to see. All around the world, the Teach for All network organizations are working in deep partnership with government to essentially realize our shared purpose around all kids gaining the kind of education that enables them to fulfill their potential. Ultimately, I guess what we've seen across Teach for All is that the fact that the circumstances of students' birth predict their outcomes is a very big, complex, systemic challenge. There's no one thing that's going to solve that problem. We're not going to solve that problem by fixing teachers or changing the curriculum or even, you know, putting more money into the system. Ultimately, it's going to take a lot of change, which means it's going to take a lot of people working throughout the ecosystem around kids, exercising agency and leadership. And this is an effort to produce a generation of teachers and school leaders and school system leaders and social innovators and advocates working throughout the system, you know, within government and outside of government, in the private sector and otherwise, who are all on the same mission. And what we've seen is that with enough time and enough leadership, we can change the system. And that's what I'm so excited to see you all do in Romania.